Welcome to another episode of Tone Bogans. I've recorded a few in a row today, and I'm going to intersperse them through the episodes so they won't all be back to back, but I am going a little bit crazy. So here's hoping I can get through this episode without too many in-jokes or inside jokes as I have been doing, and then I have to trash the take. Let's see if I can get through one. Wish me luck. Today we are looking at the Voodoo Octave by Joyo, or Joyo, or however you want to say the name of the brand. I have a real soft spot for Joyo, whomever, this company here with the really ugly little logo. I think they make really, really good pedals for really cheap, and I think because of that they do get a little bit of flack because they're not always unique circuits, and I feel like that is really unfair because you've got boutique builders using and sharing and appropriating and whatever. They are reusing classic circuits as well, but somehow they're exempt because they're boutique builders, or they're all American boutique builders, or whatever gets them off the hook for, you know, stealing the schematic of a classic effect. Whereas because Joyo is Chinese, like a lot of the other pedals that I've showcased, obviously they're all Chinese knockoffs, but I feel like Joyo tries really hard, especially lately with their newer stuff that's coming out, to make things that are a little bit unique, and they tweak them a little bit more than their counterparts. So they're clones, but they're not direct clones, and I feel like that falls under the same category as boutique builders. But because they're SMD chips and they're assembled in a factory in China, they just don't get the same love and the same respect. And as I said, I really, really, really like this brand for lo-fi effects. This is a brand that I will definitely say in the comments, if you ask me, should I buy it? The answer is yes. If it's Joyo, you can pretty much guarantee that you will get at least a decent life out of it. And if nothing else, they're really good to pull apart and modify. There's heaps of modification websites, or not websites, links online, mostly forums, I think. So if you go to forums, they will tell you how to modify this, because apparently there was a capacitor that was backwards and it wasn't letting the octave shine through enough. Then they fixed it, apparently, again, but I feel like the octave effect could still be louder. We'll go and have a look at that in the riffs, but we'll run through the knobs and the buttons like I always like to do. If you've ever seen Invader Zim's original episode, he likes to push some buttons and pull some levers, and that's what we're looking at now. Big fan. So we got volume, because you always want to be able to select something that's close to unity gain, or a little bit of boost if you want it a little bit louder than your clean signal, because who doesn't want a wall of fuzz? We all do, and even if we don't, we still do. We've got this really cool tone control linked to this toggle switch, so not only can we sweep the tone, we can do a mid cut, which is really, really good for fuzz, because that tends to be where everything does get a little bit muddy, and you can just flip it straight out. Done. Goodbye. And then we've got fuzz itself, and these are all just set to 12 o'clock. I've got no idea about the settings. I haven't used it in a while, but I know that it's a really fuzzy fuzz pedal. So I'll be back after the riffs. Hands up if you love fuzz! So I know that we also did the Musizi Fuzz. You can't buy that pedal anymore, so this is the one that I think you should get instead. You do get the Octave, which, as we discovered, it's not that loud, but you can use this perfectly as a fuzz pedal. And I don't really have much else to say about fuzz, but as we've discovered in 2 videos now, you can use it for a wall of sound, you can use it for texture, you can use it for a wall of sound, you can use it for texture. So many uses for fuzz, and definitely is good to have a fuzz pedal on your board, especially if you want to use it for texture or for a wall of sound. I am going crazy. I told you I was going crazy. I'm pretty sure it was in this take. I almost made it through. Not quite. As always, thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Comments are my favourite. I like hearing what people have to say about subjects. I also like when you have a different opinion as well. So if you have a different opinion, don't be afraid to write it in the comments. The only time I will censor you is if you are incredibly rude. But I'd like to hear anyone else's experience with the Octave up. Like, how did you get it to work? And did you have to modify it? Or are you maybe running an effect that accentuates the Octave up? Like, can you give me some hints? Or give us all some hints and tricks if you're a little bit more well versed in this pedal than I am. I bought this for bass and I don't use it for bass, and I don't really use it at all, and I think I should start. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you next time.